up YouTube? My name is Boris, aka RalphDude90. I'm the Pokemon VGC 2018 World Champion, and welcome to my second video of this new series I've called the VGC Battle Academy. This is the second video where we are gonna be using the team we built in our first video, the team building video. If you haven't already, go and check it out. The link is in the description below. I'm so excited, guys, to use this team in practice at Battle Spot. Like I already said in the first video, we're gonna be testing the team we build in our team building videos. The first one is this, then we're gonna change like in 2 or 3 weeks to another team. I'm gonna do another team building video for that team as well, and then repeat the processes. So yeah, this is the first time I'm gonna be playing VGC and commentating at the same time. I hope you like it. I hope this series gets the support. Thank you, by the way, to all the people that showed your support in my first video. Thank you. The link is in the description below, and I hope you guys like this content. I'm really excited to finally be doing this. So let's put the game and we're gonna begin. This team is a Solgaleo Cernias team with 4 supporters in Salamence, Incineroar, Ludicolo, and Tapu Fini. As we wait for our first opponent, let me tell you that this team is the team I used a month ago to win a Premier Challenge in my country, and I haven't played that much since then. And recently I played a couple of games in Showdown to let me see. This is not Francesco. Okay, this is it's a tough team for me to face because it has the Tornadoes that is getting high usage recently with Kyogre. One thing I want to mention, guys, is I tested the team a bit and I realized I had to change a move in Tapu Fini. Initially I put Icy Wind, but now I think Taunt is way better because it helps with the Trick Room matchup. So yeah, that's the only change I made in Tapu Fini. Let's begin with this. He can lead the Tornadoes and Kyogre, and how do I stop that? I think lead Salamence is good to match Tailwind, and Solgaleo as well to put offensive pressure. Ludicolo in the back for the Kyogre, and maybe Cernias. Yeah, Cernias is fine here. Let's see how this goes. Like I already said, guys, we are using Taunt in Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is not coming in this game, but for other games you have to keep that in mind. This matchup, like you can see, it's a bit tricky because of the Tornadoes, because it's really tricky to handle with my team because I have the Ludicolo to counter the Kyogre, but the Tornadoes has really great matchup against Ludicolo, and since I don't have Ice Beam, I instead have Icy Wind. It's a bit harder to handle. Okay, my opponent decides to go with the Rain lead. Kyogre's Choice Scarf, no surprise there. I think I have the advantage here. I just have to protect the Solgaleo and switch to Ludicolo. I don't see a drawback of doing that. My opponent can very well go for Thunder in that slot to hit Ludicolo harder, but won't do that much since we're Salvest. And like I said, we're gonna protect with Solgaleo and switch Salamence to our Ludicolo and see what my opponent decides to lock himself with the Kyogre. It won't surprise me if he decides to go just for the Water Spout and fake out on the Mans, or Ice Beam even. He decided to fake out the Mans, and let's see, it's Life Orb and go for the Water Spout. Yep. Pretty safe first turn for my opponent. Just go all out for with the Kyogre. We have a couple of options here. We can predict a switch in the Kyogre, like for example with the Incineroar. and go for a Scald in that slot, or we can just go safe and cross knot the Kyogre and attack with Solgaleo. But I don't see my opponent staying in, so I'm gonna fake out the Ludicolo and knock off it as well to remove the Life Orb. I predict a switch out there in the Kyogre slot. Yeah, it was really obvious. Solgaleo actually. Okay. I have to keep Ludicolo's safety for the late game for the Kyogre. We remove the Life Orb and we're ready to go. The Solgaleo is a bit tricky, not gonna lie, since I have Xerneas in the back. It might be Life Orb. I don't want to risk my Ludicolo getting knocked out here, so I think a good turn here would be switch Mans to take the Sunsteel Strike in that slot. Maybe a focus with Ice Beam as well. But I'm gonna attack with my Solgaleo to the Ludicolo. I think that Mans is not that important in this match. Ludicolo is really important. Sadly, and thankfully, Solgaleo cannot be intimidated. Sadly for us, in this case, Ludicolo reveals to have Protect and Fake Out. Not all Ludicolo has that. And Solgaleo is Trick Room. Wow, this is really interesting. Solgaleo Trick Room with your Ludicolo there. What do you have to abuse the Trick Room? Maybe the Incineroar? So yeah, I don't really know what to expect here. Mans is not doing anything. I don't want to trigger a weakness policy in the opposite Solgaleo, but I don't know what to do here, to be honest. I might have to. I'm gonna flamethrower it and just go for a knockoff here on the Ludicolo slot. Let's see. Damage is damage. Even though we're in the rain, yeah, there's Incineroar. Hopefully the Solgaleo doesn't have the weakness policy, since it is a Trick Room variant. Yeah, this is lower, of course. We're using a Jolly Solgaleo and timid max speed Salamence. So he's going for demands. Yep. We knock off the Figgy Berry and use the flamethrower, and yeah, it is actually a weakness policy on there. So he has Trick Room, Protect maybe. We're gonna sack Mans here. Doesn't do anything other than intimidating. Yep. We can switch to Ludicolo as well to have Fake Out pressure next turn, but if my opponent targets that slot, we lose Ludicolo. So we're just gonna Flamethrower again and protect with Solgaleo, even though rain's gonna end. I think we can live the Flare Blitz the next turn. So my opponent goes for Fake Out on Solgaleo and Sunsteel Strike on the Solomon slot, like we were predicting and expecting. No science there. The Trick Room Solgaleo is a really tricky best of one oriented strategy. It's not only best of one, but it's more successful in the best of one environment. So yeah, we have the Ludicolo here. Oh, I didn't use the Bulldoze. I forgot to use Bulldoze. I had to use Bulldoze to boost my Solgaleo. Now I cannot do anything. Let's go for the knockoff here. Or yeah, I have to go for the knockoff. Hopefully the Incineroar goes for Flare Blitz. When we leave that and we trigger the weakness policy. Yep. And we kill the Solgaleo with a +2 knockoff. In retrospect, it was better for me to not use Bulldoze the turn I was thinking on doing that, because my Solgaleo would have taken a bit of damage, and considering that cheap damage, I wouldn't have been able to live this Flare Blitz here. So now we have the last turn of Trick Room, and my opponent decides to bring the Scarf Kyogre here. Is this the last turn of Trick Room? Yeah, this is the last turn of Trick Room. So we're gonna go for Protect with our Solgaleo and Grass Knot in the Kyogre slot. He can knock off the Ludicolo and Thunder it. Just go for a focus there. That could be a solid play from my opponent's end, to be honest. But let's see. Yeah, you go for the knockoff, remove and go for that. The Choice Scarf Kyogre in Trick Room. And now we are in trouble. We have to go for a second. For double protect. You don't get it. Might miss. You don't miss. Choice Scarf Kyogre in Trick Room, guys, to underspeed our Ludicolo in rain. Yeah, the only way out here is to... He has missed. He has missed the Origin Pulse. But if I play watching the screen here, he decides to... Okay. Decides to sack Ludicolo. Really interesting. I don't agree with that. Maybe my opponent thought, okay, I have the 100% win, I have Scout, for example, so I switch out. Let's see how many brain turns. We have 2 turns. We're going for the Protect. to waste a turn of rain and see what my opponent does. He has the Thunder. That's not a good move. We're gonna win this match, guys. We're just Moonblast and do what? 80-90% of damage, maybe even getting a special attractor up. But that's not the case. He gets the Thunder. He has to paralyze our Cernes. You know, we win this match. I think my opponent had to risk the Origin Pulse the previous turn. He had to. Normally Origin Pulse is a move that a lot of us hate because of the accuracy, but in that case you had to go for the risk. You have to risk it. You have to go for the Origin Pulse. If you connect, you win. If you miss, well, you lose, but doing this is 100% lose. So yeah, in retrospect, let me think a little bit more about the battle in general. Overall, I think the Trick Room Solgaleo was a bit tricky to handle. I thought initially that not bulldozing my own Solgaleo the turn I wanted was a mistake, but in retrospect, I think it was way better because of the unnecessary chip damage my Solgaleo would have taken. So the turn where I lived the Flare Blitz was really important to not have any chip damage prior to that turn. So my opponent triggered my weakness policy and I could use knockoff to kill the opposite Solgaleo. Then I was a bit confused about the speeds there. The Trick Room was still active. I couldn't protect Ludicolo. I think in retrospect it would have been better to bring Cernes. Yeah. And attack with the Solgaleo. My opponent tried to predict that. He didn't target the Solgaleo, predicting the protect, go for the knockoff on the Ludicolo to remove the boost from the Salves and do a lot of damage. Like I took like 80%, 85% from knockoff, and it was really important for my opponent since the Origin Pulse after could take the knockout there. So yeah, I could have played better. I'm still learning about this metagame. The team's good, of course it has some tough matchups, but that's it for this video, guy. I hope you all like it. Please show your support by leaving a like on the video. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with your friends. We're gonna continue testing this team. I want to say that if you want me to play just one battle or 2 battles or 3 battles, please let me know that in the comments. If you want 2 battles per video or just 1 battle is fine. Let me know that, guys. It's up to you. I will do what you want. And yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.